Okay, so now we've identified the issue. Now it's time to move on to step 2. What are you trying to achieve? Now's the time we identify our goals and our objectives. Allow me to provide 2 quick definitions for clarity. Goal is the long-term vision of what you're trying to achieve, whereas the objective is the more specific, targeted outcome in the short term. You can even think of the objective as a progression towards your goal. A writer said it best, and I think it's worth repeating. The goals, they reflect the reality of the situation. If the goal is about solving the issue, the objectives must specifically target removing the root causes of the issue. Let's go deeper into the objectives. Usually, everyone can figure out the goal, and then you have to make sure that your objectives are in line, and all of them must be in line with the overarching issue. Let's talk about objectives. Most organizers and strategists, when they're trying to find how to find the objectives, they use the SMART method. The objective must always be SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Let's go through each, then I'll give you an example. Your objectives should be specific. That means it's clearly defined and identifiable. Your objective must be measurable. That means it must be quantifiable, needs to be able to be measured. Your objective must be achievable. It must be realizable, able to be brought about or achieved successfully. Your objective must be realistic, must be practical. It must show a sensible idea of what can, in fact, be achieved. And then it must be time-bound. This requires completion within a specific deadline or within a specific time period. In my experience, most advocacy campaigns take between 1 to 3 years to complete. Some are shorter, and some have been known to be longer. Now let me give you an example. Let's say you want to do a public awareness campaign. Let's assume you've identified the issue as being a high influx or high occurrences of diabetes in your community. Goal could be to reduce stigma or accelerate the early diagnosis of diabetes in your town. So now that we have our issue and we have our goal, comment below on some objectives that you think would be helpful in achieving your goal. Let's think through some SMART objectives. The objectives must be SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. If this is summer, a good objective could be to host 3 free town halls in your community where you bring in doctors, nutritionists, and the target community to discuss diabetes and ways to lower its occurrence in your community. Don't forget to be time-bound. So if it's the summer, let's say we'll do it by the end of August, August 30th. Another objective could be to secure social media, TV media, newspapers, and other ways to magnify the message by October 31st of the same year. So if the goal was to reduce the stigma and accelerate early diagnosis, then the objectives are right in line in progressing towards that goal. Each objective was very specific, was quantifiable. Each objective was clearly identifiable and specific, where you knew exactly what was going to be done. In this example, earned media to amplify the message and town halls to raise awareness. The objective was measurable. We had a high occurrence, we had a plan or objectives, and then we would be able to see over time if those objectives worked towards raising awareness and lowering the stigma in your target area. Both objectives were achievable, setting 3 town halls in a matter of time, as well as taking steps to get earned media, seemed to be something that could be done fairly easy under the time constraints. Again, the objectives need to be realistic. Having town halls and getting media for a very important health issue seems realistic. And the last being time-bound, which was requiring a set deadline or specific time period. The first objective was August 30th. and the second objective was October 31st. Now, it may seem that this step is very short. However, keep in mind, after getting the issue, it usually becomes a lot easier to move forward with the next steps. But the key point in step number 2 is ensuring that the goal is taking steps to solving the issue or the root cause of the problem. And the objectives must be progressing towards the overall goal. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe at Lima Delta Bravo JD. Again, that's Lima Delta Bravo JD.